This evening, murder suspect fatally stabbed by another inmate at a Georgetown prison. Over 70 teachers graduated from the Ministry of Education's Education Management Certificate course. The Vice President commits to the resurfacing of the Soesdyke-Linden highway if all goes as planned. In the region, Peru's president avoids impeachment after marathon debate, and internationally, Bangladesh opposition parties call for a nationwide strike. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Murder accused Mahesh Rajpal was fatally stabbed by his fellow inmate, remanded murder accused Rajkumar Singh in Holin Bay 1 at the Georgetown Prison Bay location on Monday, March 28. Investigations revealed that around 2:50 p.m., Rajpal and Singh had an argument that escalated. Singh accused Rajpal of walking on his bed space. A fight subsequently ensued between the duo, which resulted in the victim receiving one stab wound to his left side chest with an improvised object. An alarm was raised, resulting in a swift response by the officers on duty to provide first aid response. Rajpal was transferred to the prison infirmary, where he was examined by a prison doctor and referred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation for medical attention. However, he succumbed during the process. A search was conducted in Bay 1 in an effort to retrieve the improvised weapon. The same was found and handed over to the police. Singh has since been transferred to the Georgetown Prison A and is isolated. The Guyana Police Force is currently investigating the incident. Meanwhile, the director of prison, Nicolon Elliott, said, "The incident is unfortunate." He noted that the prison service continues to acknowledge the importance of anger management classes in reducing the prisoner-to-prisoner violence. He said the welfare officer and senior management of Georgetown Prison B would continue to have weekly sessions with the inmates, urging them to address their issues in accordance with the prison rules and highlighting the consequences of violence in prison. Elliott further stated that the prison administration would continue to conduct random searches to retrieve any hidden improvised weapons. He expects that the completion of the Lusiknan prison will alleviate overcrowding issues and offer a safer environment for inmates. The hassle of traversing the Soesdyke-Linden highway may soon be a thing of the past, as the government of Guyana is awaiting the approval of over $24 billion from the Islamic Development Bank to resurface that road. Vice President Dr. Barry Jaglio, during a visit to the town of Linden on Sunday, said the administration is hoping for the financing to be approved in June to start the rehabilitation work along the 72-kilometer-long thoroughfare.
This region alone, the highway, we came into office, we spent some money on the highway. The highway is horrible, in a horrible state. It is in a bad state coming up here. So we decided, because although we're busy tackling the pandemic, we were also planning not just health and education, we were planning the infrastructure of the country too. So now we just have before the Islamic Development Bank a project for $120 million US. We're hoping it will be approved at the board meeting in June of this year, so we can start reconstructing that highway before the end of the year. That is what we are hoping to do, to pave the highway all the way from the junction right into Linden. And then the part from Diamond to the airport, we're working with the IDB to resurface and widen that road. We're working on a smart grid for the country. We've just gone out, or we're going out now for 35 megawatts of solar power. By the end of the year, 15 megawatts will start here in Region 10 in 3 different locations. That's using money that we had placed in the Inter-American Development Bank since 2010. APNO did not even use the money. They used some of the money from the GRIP, but for other purposes, for working on some green state strategy or something of that. Rather than actually use the money to bring benefits to people.
The Vice President said while the government was addressing the impact of COVID-19, emphasis was also being placed on developing the country's infrastructure. The upgrade to the highway is part of several key plans, that the government has outlined for the Upper Demerara Berbice region. Additionally, Dr. Jaglio informed Linden residents that some 800 part-time jobs would become available to them within the next 3 weeks to boost their household income.
Now, 800 jobs will bring more income to this area. But if you have 800 persons working every month, and they earn say 40,000 a month, not part-time work, and just multiply that and see how much income gets infused into the community. That's money that they can spend back in the communities. So that runs into tens of millions of dollars every month they can spend back. That means the tens of millions of income for these people will become also a source of income for the people who are selling and the business community because one gets spent back. So it's an economic boost to the area too, apart from the employment and the cost of living impact, because more people can cope with the cost of living by higher employment. It gives you an economic boost in the area because there is more disposable income for people to spend on a whole range of business-related services.
Further, he said 200 to 250 small grants will be distributed to people who want to establish or expand their businesses. In an effort to provide a nation where children are safer, free from all forms of abuse, while benefiting from quality education, healthcare, and safe spaces for religious and cultural activities, the government, in collaboration with the United Nations Children Fund, has commenced a new work program which would be undertaken over the next 5 years. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips attended a reception at the Marriott Hotel to mark the commencement of the program on Monday, March 28th. He expressed his gratitude to UNICEF for its work in Guyana, which has guided policies that help provide a safe and healthy future for children. The Prime Minister said government recognizes the challenges parents in Guyana face and has since implemented several programs to ensure each child has access to quality education. He assured the representatives of UNICEF that they would have the government's full support as they put this new work program into effect. UNICEF's Regional Director Jean Gall said she's inspired by the targets set by the government of Guyana and is committed to ensuring that children have the opportunity to grow and be protected from abuse and poverty. Present at the event were the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gil Teixeira, British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jean Miller, and United States Ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Lynch, among others. Stick around after the break. Kanu found another massive amount of cannabis along the Berbice River, and Ministry of Education's Education Management Certificate course graduates over 70 teachers.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
In a world filled with copycats and ever-changing trends, make your property stand out with unique concrete moldings. Different, exquisite designs carefully handcrafted to suit your style, with various customizable and antique and modern designs made at our factory. Antique and modern molding establishment. We make your property outstanding. We make and install all moldings anywhere in Guyana.
The best quality, affordable prices,
on-the-spot quotes, and no hidden fees. Call us or WhatsApp us at 684-5050 or email us at modernestab@gmail.com. Antique and modern molding establishment, made to stand out.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. In a continued effort to improve the management skills of educators across Guyana, 73 teachers in Georgetown Education District successfully graduated from the Ministry of Education's Education Management Certificate course on Monday, March 28th. The course is specially designed to improve teachers' leadership skills and is open to heads of departments, senior teachers, and head teachers. It was conducted through the National Center for Educational Resources Development. Delivering the feature address at the graduation ceremony hosted in the Queen's College Auditorium was Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hudson, who stated that it is widely recognized that one of the key factors influencing the effectiveness is the nature of leadership and management. Hence, quality leadership and management are fundamental factors in changing the status quo. Quote, in the school system, it is important to note that, like professionals, administrators need to accept a large measure of responsibility for the wholesome development of students. Dr. Hudson, while congratulating the teachers, further added that the dynamic nature of education demands the continuous implementation of new ideas and initiatives. The graduating teachers were from nursery, primary, and secondary schools across Georgetown Education District. A special operations team from the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit and officers from the Ghana Defense Force Coast Guard conducted a joint operation at the vault along the Upper Berbice River and unearthed several hundreds of pounds of cannabis on March 26, 2022. During this operation, the officers searched a building that was occupied by several individuals, including minors, and discovered several parcels of suspected cannabis. The adult occupants, 52-year-old Messiah Durant, 44-year-old Sean Lindy Sr., and 29-year-old Sean Lindy Jr., were questioned about the parcels and subsequently arrested. The men were escorted to the Canoe headquarters with the suspected narcotics. The substance was tested positive for cannabis and had a total weight of over 1,500 pounds with an estimated street value of over $79 million. The cannabis seized is believed to have been intended for transshipment to another territory. Don't go away after the break. Peru's president avoids impeachment after marathon debate, and Poland. Volunteers struggle to have waves of Ukrainian refugees. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
In a world filled with copycats and ever-changing trends, make your property stand out with unique concrete moldings. Different, exquisite designs carefully handcrafted to suit your style, with various customizable and antique and modern designs made at our factory. Antique and Modern Molding Establishment. We make your property outstanding. We make and install all moldings anywhere in Guyana.
The best quality, affordable prices, on-the-spot quotes, and no hidden fees.
Call us or WhatsApp us at 684-5050 or email us at modernestab@gmail.com. Antique and Modern Molding Establishment, made to stand out.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Peru's President Pedro Castillo avoided impeachment by the country's opposition-dominated legislature on Monday after a parliamentary debate lasting more than 8 hours, Al Jazeera's Mariana Sanchez reports.
For the second time in 4 months, an attempt to remove Pedro Castillo from office ends in failure. The president saying the impeachment trial was baseless.
Everyone knows that it does not contain a single element that sustains it. We only find words in the motion that have no corroboration. There is speculation, imaginary connections that don't support facts and the law.
In his brief defense, the president denied involvement in graft allegations, but his opponents say otherwise.
The corruption that many defend grant his accomplices millionaire bids. The prosecution says he has been involved in influence peddling.
Analysts say the 20-part impeachment motion was weak. The corruption allegations are still under investigation by prosecutors.
It has yet to be proven. There has been no evidence. We deserve respect.
The session was marked by interruptions and insults and was briefly suspended. Outside, hundreds of riot police stopped protesters from getting close. Castillo's supporters said he must be allowed to govern.
He was democratically elected and must be respected. It's a legitimate government. Those delinquents are trying to oust him.
Castillo's short 8-month-long government has been mired in controversy. A poll found 50% of Peruvians want him gone.
Castillo's the 5th president in the last 6 years. It's no wonder Peruvians are fed up with Peru's political class. Castillo has said he has made mistakes, but Peruvians are increasingly frustrated, and many say they don't want to wait for Castillo to correct his mistakes.
He's a delinquent. Castillo has no morals. He has lied. He doesn't run a good government. He is a shame.
The session lasted more than 8 hours, but the impeachment had lost steam before it started. Opponents were unable to get Castillo's allies to flip their votes. Now Castillo says it's time to turn the page, but if not now, opponents say they will find a way to remove him from office. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Internationally, opposition parties in Bangladesh have called for a nationwide strike over the rise in cost of living. Despite having enough food stock on hand, consumers have been paying prices for some food items higher than in Western nations. Al Jazeera's Tanveer Chowdhury reports.
The people of Dhaka say they have had enough. They're out on the streets of Bangladeshi capital to show their anger against rising food prices. A leftist alliance supported by opposition parties has called for a nationwide strike.
For the past few months, prices of essentials in Bangladesh have gone up a lot, and the majority of people are now suffering. We made several demands to the government to bring these under control, but the government's not paid much attention to these.
In response, the government has launched a nationwide food subsidy program for about 10 million people.
If they would provide all essential items together, then it would be easier for us. We can't afford to buy items from the market. Prices are too high. But these rations are not always available.
Despite the country having enough food stock on hand, consumers are having to pay higher prices for some food items than those in Western countries. Prices of essential food items has gone up in recent months in Bangladesh. A kilogram of sugar, a liter of cooking oil costs more here than in European Union. A dozen eggs costs more here than in some American cities, making it extremely difficult for an average wage earner to make ends meet. Even families who earn a good income are now struggling.
Prices are too high in the market for all essential items. For middle-class people like us, it's beyond our budget now, as we have limited income. It would be good if the government takes measures to reduce prices.
Economist Famida Khatun says a small group of traders who want to create a monopoly is part of the problem.
Market mechanism does not work properly. We have seen that a small group of traders influences and in fact controls the market prices. So therefore, there is a need for efficient market management by the policymakers.
The government says it's cracking down on corrupt businesses.
We will not accept and allow any kind of illegal malpractice in the market, and for that, we urge the relevant authorities to take necessary measures, and government consumer protection agencies have already started to work on this.
Analysts fear rising inflation, high fuel cost, and a protracted Ukraine war will continue to affect the cost of living in Bangladesh, and the country may experience more protest and unrest in the coming days. Tanveer Chowdhury, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
And finally, nearly 4 million refugees are estimated to have left Ukraine since the war began. Volunteers around the world have traveled to neighboring countries like Poland to help care for them, but there is little clarity about who is organizing the relief efforts. Al Jazeera's Kimberly Hackett reports.
Safety is what Anna Paleszo is searching for. She's just stepped into Poland
After fleeing the city of Patova, she's traveled by train, bus, and foot for days with her 8 and 11-year-old son and daughter. They're out of danger for now. Still, she has little idea where they'll go from here.
Hope to England. Hope. We have friends from church, and they invited us, and we will stay in their houses, and hope we will get visas and be safe there.
Anna's story is like thousands who've also fled from Ukraine. This border crossing in Medyka, Poland is in chaos. It's a haphazard tent city made up of a patchwork of international nonprofit groups, aid workers, and private individuals who've arrived in Poland from all over the globe.
Yeah, they're not representing the country, they are representing the humanity. Because they are human, that's why they're here.
What greets these exhausted refugees is a cluttered and confused group of mostly well-meaning individuals. Their donated aid is practical and sometimes indulgent, but there's little coordination. One of the big reasons that Poland has absorbed the majority of refugees coming from Ukraine isn't just because of its proximity, it's also because of the refugees' necessity. Many are coming by foot, and up until now, this has been the only pedestrian crossing. From the border, trusting refugees pile into buses that take them 5 kilometers away to an abandoned distribution warehouse. Children are often alone as their confused parents search for help. But even the volunteers aren't sure who's running the relief operation.
Looks like people, they want to help, but they don't know how to help. They don't know what to do. It's like no techniques, no plan. It's like, yeah.
A little bit chaotic.
Chaotic, a lot.
Local authorities admit no one is checking to see those showing up are who they say they are. And they say it's not their responsibility to check.
This is just a reception center. This region is only temporary. Only a few people stay here, and they are leaving.
That leaves refugees to wander, assembling a plan. Most have given little thought to their next chapter and soon discover they've fled an immediate threat in Ukraine, only to encounter a new one. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, Medyka, Poland.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.